All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Clannad After Story, episode 2. We had a baseball game.
That's a baseball!
And it was wonderful. We had some moving speeches that resulted in being tagged out, or timeouts so that you could make said moving speech.
Yes. And some overpowered athleticism that was toned down to regular human levels.
Exactly, or as close as Tomoyo could get. Yep. Because these anime girls, they be strunk. Well, either strunk or not strunk at all.
Built different.
Built different. That's a great way to put it.
It is true.
But we had someone else who was built different because of an injury. Yes. And hey, guess what? He took the swing. And as a result, the game was won. Awesome. Sweet.
It's a really cool moment. But we also ended with a little bit of a teaser of the robot in the field, but not in the room.
Not in the room.
Like, building or whatever. And the girl was not there.
Yep. And the first episode generally just, had a lot of like pointed bits of dialogue that feel like, wait, is something up? Is this tone
classic,
setting or foreshadowing?
We're building the foreshadowing and the foundation for stuff for this, after story.
Exactly.
So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Yeah, Okazaki, konnichiwa. Hiru meshi wa kyou mo gakushoku?
爽やかだな。
はい。
お前にしては爽やかすぎる。キャラが違いすぎて引いてしまった。
じゃあどうすればいいんだよ。
常に語尾にそれと便座カバーとつけろ。そうすれば爽やかさが薄れてお前らしくなる。
Seems natural.
また渚ちゃんとこに泊めてもらって。
Yeah.
うちは全然構わないんです。みんなメイさん大好きですから。
自宅と学校にはちゃんと断りの電話を入れたそうだ。お前のことが心配なんだとさ。
This is the first time we've seen the inside of the cafeteria.
Maybe.
このままじゃ気になって帰れないです。
進学は無理だから適当に就職して適当に働いて。
Why can't you go to college?
僕にもしっかり者の恋人でもいれば妹もホッとするだろうけどさ。
それだ。つまりお前に将来を誓い合った恋人がいることに
Oh
す
my
ればいいん
god.
だよ。
Yes.
それならメイちゃんも安心するだろう。
I'm sure Tomoyo or somebody would be happy to pretend.
うまくいくのかね。
言っとくけどな、お前はそんなにブサイクじゃないぞ。童顔だし、母性本能をくすぐるタイプだ。我が校一のベビーフェイス。
Number one. Baby Sunohara.
店の彼女だって、これがきっかけで本当に付き合うことに。
That unironically does
Could happen, yeah.
like, work sometimes, yeah.
やる気が出てきたよ。
Oh!
ともやくん、ただ面白がってるだけだよ。
Yes, absolutely.
Why can't it be both?
誰かいないかな。言うこと聞きそうなおとなしい女の子。
Obedient. Wow.
補足だよな。
Oh, wow.
あいつに頼むのか。
Wait, actually.
Maybe he could be her rebound.
そんなびっくりすることないでしょ。振りだけだからさ。
無理です。多すぎます。考えただけで恥ずかしくて。とっても。
Actually going to cry.
Rip Sunohara. Just a girl thinking about pretending to date you.
お前な、そんなこと言ってると。
Who made her cry? Yep. Oh,
yes.
この際今日に
Bro, like, were you hit that hard on the head, like...
I mean, maybe it's just crazy enough to work.
工房だしすぐ怒るし理不尽なこと言うし僕のことこ
I could be into that.
思いっきり聞こえてるのよね。もう一遍言ってみる。言えたらご褒美に喉に手突っ込んで声帯引きずり出してあげるけど。
すみません。
I will be devoted to you.
謝ったでしょ。
謝ってる顔がなんかムカついちゃった。行くわよ、りょう。そばにいたらバカが映るよ。
I'm sorry,
That little bit of
Sunohara.
hesitation, though, from
Yeah.
Ryo.
Seeing Kyo beat the shit out of him made her feel bad.
本当に大丈夫ですか？
心配ない。こいつは女子生徒にいじめられてる時が一番輝いてるんだ。
Inner masochist!
Even Tomoya has the handprint.
Yeah.
藤林も今日もダメとなると他に引き受けてくれそうなのは。
No, are you actually insane?
Hey, I mean, she's so chill. Maybe.
Well, actually, she would do it if Okazaki asked.
But probably not if Sunohara asked.
Yeah.
とりあえず深呼吸して落ち着け。Okay.
Okay!
He's shaking.
僕とあいつは数年前
Yes.
顔を合わせれば喧嘩ばかりしていた。
どうした珍しく悩んでるようだが。
おめえには関係ねえよ。
それもそうだな。
Oh my god.
お前が私以外のやつにやられるのは。
This is so good!
Yeah.
Please, please!
実力を認める者同士、心の底では。
Yes, that's what this is. Strength being recognized. Look at Okazaki's like disgust face. He's like,
Yeah.
no.
落とすには重曹なんかをよく使ったりするが、なければ
Oh my god. Off to a great
な
start.
ければ押しでもいいと思う。
無視するなよ。
古川さんか。昨日の野球は楽しかったな。
No.
Still ignoring Sunohara.
Yeah.
僕今悩んでるんだよね。
い
Aw.
つもと同じ能天気に見えるわ。
お前には関係ねえよ。
まったくだ。じゃあ
お前が私以外のやつにやられるのは見たくないって言ってくれ。
そんなことみじんも思ったことはないわ。
Not even the slightest
話
bit.
が進まないだろ。
分かったの。お手伝いするの。
マジ？
ことみちゃん優しいです。私、お友達のお役に立ちたいの。
Okay.
何をしたらいいか教えてほしいの。
何しよっか。
それじゃあ。
お前が余計なこと言うから。バイオリン修理したんじゃなかったの。
It's like he's possessed.
Yeah.
もっといい音が出せるの。
っていうかパワーアップするだろ。
宮沢いるか。
岡崎さん、
Oh.
Yeah.
篠原さん、お久しぶりです。はい、お久しぶりです、宮沢さん。
ゆきねちゃんか。
And because she chills in here all the time, she has no idea about Sunohara's reputation.
You look like you'll do anything.
Wow.
偽の彼女ですか。なんだか難しそうですね。
そんなことないって。僕がちゃんとリードしてあげるからさ。頼むよ。ね。
What the fuck?
I forgot about
What
that.
the fuck?
Holy shit.
私のお客様です。ちょっと実
What was he doing under the desk? Yeah. Hiding? We? Who else is hiding in here?
ゆきね、何かあったら俺を呼んでくれ。すぐに駆けつけるからよ。
まだ外に出ちゃダメです。隠れてないと。すいません。私もこれで。
What? What?
Weird shit happens at this school. See, the perfect fake girlfriend would be Fuko, because everyone would forget her after she left.
晩ご飯の支度を手伝わなくてはならないので。篠原さん、頑張ってください。
そもそもタダで頼もうってのが虫が良すぎたんだ。報酬を出すことにしよう。
Bounty.
あれねえよ、俺は問題ない。どうせお前の魅力で
Why does that
メ
look
ロ
like
メロにする。
Nagisa? Just walked past
ま
us.
あね。
Yeah, the
まず
Nagisa
は
or the
相手を
one
おだてる。
girl from the
それ
violin
から
club.
最近の女の子は秘密主義
Fire or
だ。
whatever.
そういうところは安心させる。わかった。
I got
行っ
that.
てくるよ。
はい、彼女。かわいいね。今暇？話だけでも聞いてほしいんだけどさ。実は割のいいバイトがあるんだよね。
私急いでますから。
Yeah.
名前は出さないからさ。それに親御さんにも内緒にしておくから。大丈夫。似たようなことみんなやってんだから。いや、これじゃ怪しいスカウトみたいだ。
Aha. Aha. Oh my.
お、早苗さん。
Whoa.
何か困ったことがおありですか。そういうことなら私にお手伝いさせていただけませんか。
Oh. How?
早苗さん本気ですか？
They think she's offering
お
herself.
姉ちゃんのお兄さんのためですから。
It's like
私でお役に立つ
you
なら
don't realize
喜ん
that.
で。
Boys, stop, stop.
岡崎、あの人。
Boys, no, that's not what she's meaning.
ああ、昨日そんなこと言ってたな。
He still doesn't know that that's.
お姉さん。
He still doesn't know.
面白いから誤解させて。
私ではダメでしょうか。
そんなことないっす。でも早苗さんだと偽の彼女だってすぐ分かっちゃいませんか？
大丈夫です。変装していきます。
Oh my god, yes. Yes.
本気で。
よろしくお願いします。
Oh, she gets to act
Yeah.
too.
お兄ちゃんに彼女？
将来を誓い合った恋人さ。ものすごい美人でしっかり者なんだ。
Now the problem is,
わけじゃないってことさ。
wasn't Mei staying with the Furukawa?
Yeah, of course. Oh my god.
演劇部っていろんな衣装を用意しているんですね。
メイちゃんと会うのはあさって。明日はデートの予行演習ってことで。
Oh my god.
楽
Yep.
しみです。私は複雑な気持ちです。お母さんが同級生の恋人サンタなんて。
早苗さんのことを渚のお姉さんだと思ってるし。
お姉さん
Yes.
Yeah.
ありがとうございます。
Yeah, that wasn't a compliment.
お母さん、やっぱり考え直した方が良くないでしょうか。
I bet she's wearing the grandma like under rim
気になっ
glasses.
てたんです。一見不器用で失敗ばかりだけど、本当は心の優しい子なんじゃないか。
Mm.
何かきっかけがあれば、きっといい方向に進める。
I can
Walking a
fix
better
him.
path. Yeah.
私、そのお手伝いがしたいんです。わかりました。お母さんがそうまで言うのなら、私
And
も
since
協
both
力
of us are doing that too,
よろしくお願いしますね。
一つだけ確
Okazaki.
認。おっさんには黙っておくこと。
どうしてですか？
What?
早苗さんは人助けのつもりでも、おっさんのことだから嫉妬に狂って角原をボコボコにするかもしれないでしょ。
My man
角原
played
の安全の
Yakuza
ために
Zero and learned the slugger style.
Exactly.
篠原さん、ものすごく緊張してます
She
な
looks.
んかムカつく光景だな。
まさか、ともやくんもお母さんが好きになったんじゃ。
バカ、何言い出すんだよお前。
恋人同士なのに篠原くんと呼ぶのはおかしいので、陽平くんとお呼びしますね。
そうっすか。
陽平くん、
Huh?
よろしくお願いします。
Yeah, man. And then he just rewound back into.
Right.
She's great at
もっ
this.
と近づいてもいいですよ。恋人同士なんですから。
Yep.
それじゃあ軽く手をつないでみましょうか。
The roll.
Yeah.
いちいち報告しに来るな。あんなんでいい方向に進んでいってるのかね。
God, this is amazing.
篠原さんもう来てます。
Oh my God, what?
後ろから声かけてみろよ。
Why are there roses in a circle around him?
それじゃあちょっとやってみます。
Nagisa's just like, this is a bit much for me.
待ちましたか？
いやたった今来たところです。
篠原さん、この空き缶は。
Wait, they weren't flowers, they were cans?
これを見るだろう。すると。
篠原さん、こんなに長い時間待っててくれたんです。
What?
こうなるのさ。
お前って本当に
I swear they were flowers
これ
when
が
I.
男の仕掛ける恋という名の
Because why would he ever have a bunch of cans around his
ゲ
feet?
ームってやつかな。
それ意味違ってるから。
Yeah. Uh-huh.
飲みすぎたからトイレ行きたくなってき
And
た。
nature calls. May's like, this is bullshit, isn't it?
や
使ってたら迷惑ですよね。
And cleaning
Have to
after
clean
a
up after
brother
him again.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
私もお手伝いしますね。あ、すみません。いえいえ。
あ
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
これはかなり。
ともやくん、顔赤くなって
No.
Oh my god, what is this animation?
すいませんお待たせしましたかすいません
いい今来たところですから。
Oh my god.
この人がお兄ちゃんの彼女。
Impossible.
And we end the episode there? What? What?
God, I forgot this episode was a thing. Oh man. That was great.
Wow. All right, we got a comedy episode. We got
And it came out swinging.
Yeah, practically a filler episode in the best possible way because we're focusing on Sunohara and how much our boy needs to think about the future. Because he's not really seeming to have much plans with regards to his future.
Right.
He said he can't go to college, which is
he probably doesn't have the grades for it.
He probably doesn't have the grades for it, but it's also a bit defeatist to say that. So I'm also like, okay.
Interesting.
But then the idea of, okay, well then I'm just going to get a job and figure stuff out from there. But your sister's really worried about you. So she's here and you need to make her feel, confident in you, buddy.
As far as like explanations for why ridiculous antics like this happen, I kind of like it. Because yeah, I totally get where May's coming from. I'd be concerned too, like
You had a brother like Sunohara.
Yeah.
Yeah, for whatever reason, he's kind of invulnerable. Like the guy gets killed every 5 days and he just bounces back up like there's no issue.
Maybe he can become a boxer or something, except he's very weak.
Boners do give superpowers. I will
that's
just
true.
say that is actually fact.
And we did have it
Science,
confirmed
bitch.
that he is a bit of a masochist here.
I mean, that's also true as well.
Yeah, which explains why he keeps going up to Tomoyo with the
every detail.
with the worst
Tomoyo.
possible approaches.
Oh, right.
Like
I cannot tell you how much I loved the effort that was put into the gags this episode in terms of the visuals. I loved them so much. The one of them being both like delinquents and stuff, but like meeting in like the dark,
dimly lit
area.
classroom or cafeteria or something like that, and it's oh hey, what's going on with you?
Yeah, I don't want to see you lose to anyone
But me.
It's like,
And Sunohara ends up believing his own fantasies so much that he ends up trying to get those lines to be said by Tomoyo. And the thing is that if you had been direct and upfront with her, maybe she might have actually been up for it. And
she actually might have.
And just been like, okay, well, you need to do something for me in return,
Yeah,
right?
and in fact, this is probably the most frustrating thing about this episode, is how bad of an assist Nagisa and Okazaki, or Tomoya, are being right now, and that they're not like telling him how to do this with the best likelihood of success.
Yep.
Because in some ways, Tomoya
Shut up, Sunohara, don't talk. Okay.
Tomoya just kind of wants to have some fun at Sunohara's expense.
And Nagisa isn't necessarily the most take charge kind of person.
Yeah, but also like Tomoya, you're dating Nagisa right now. Don't lie to her and say you're actually like taking this seriously. And then secondly, the way
he takes his fun very seriously.
Well, no, the way he basically kind of stiffs Sunohara in the beginning felt really mean. It just felt mean.
It's
like it didn't feel like the kind of thing of where he's trying to poke some fun. It felt like he tried to salvage the situation by then poking a fun joke at it. And it's like, buddy, no, you're kind of an asshole to Sunohara. I understand if he's frustrated and maybe a bit jealous of Sunohara in some ways.
With Sunohara's happy-go-lucky attitude for everything.
Well, I think there's a couple things that are a little bit deeper seated than that. But,
it's something where Sunohara is not treated the best by the people around him. A lot of that is because of his own decisions, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But
the consequences of his own actions. Yes.
Exactly. But in the case of Okazaki, it's rarely that. It's something that Okazaki just kind of does.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate.
It's a reveal that in some ways Tomoya and Sunohara are in this lucky situation that they're really close friends, and yet for some reason we don't see Sunohara hanging out with anybody else. And we don't really see Tomoya hanging out with any other guys.
The vibe that I kind of get from it is that they were friends of convenience because they were the two delinquents at the school, right? As a result of that, they kind of only had each other.
Right.
And so there were benefits from that, in that they were able to become friends. But the flip side of that is that
now that he has Nagisa.
Yeah, he didn't necessarily have, Tomoya didn't necessarily ever really care for Sunohara, right? He was just sort of the person that was there, that he could spend his time with, that could maybe be a distraction from his dad.
He could go and stay at his place for a little bit, you know.
But it was very much utilitarian, right? And as a result of that, and maybe also any resentment that could come about from him then associating with Sunohara, which helps to reinforce Okazaki's own delinquent image, because it's understandable why Sunohara is not necessarily liked by the people at school. But for Okazaki, it mostly tends to be kind of his own self-imposed isolation. And so then it feels like maybe he's resenting Sunohara's, or like taking it out on Sunohara. And that's no good, dude.
Yeah, it's no good. It's a thing that I like that this episode might be building up towards, and that we need to get to that point where Sunohara calls Tomoya out on his bullshit. But who knows? That might be something that's just a general Tomoya characterization thing that we'll start to unpack as, well, him and Nagisa get closer. Because one of the cool things about relationships like this is that as you get closer to someone like this, you're going to see all kinds of different sides of them. Sides that are amazing. Sides that are just kind of like surprising. And then others that you're like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And it's going to test the relationship, and it's going to lead to some cool drama and some interactions and stuff. And I'm like, ooh, yes, good stuff.
Awesome.
But we went through all the cast here in a very classic, almost I would say filler-like fashion, where we literally touched on everybody in the entire hecking harem lineup. And
the
it was
only
like,
person who didn't make an appearance was Fuko.
Well, she shouldn't be here.
What are you talking about? She could have just shown up and been like, there is a disturbance. Someone is in need of help. Fuko will save the day.
No, she looked cackling at Sunohara. It's like, I'm not helping that.
Yeah, she looked at that and she was like, someone No, Fuko doesn't need to save the day here. Yeah, right.
Why did it seem like multiple times there were like characters that were like just walking around, and it was just like, oh, there's Nagisa, or am I just seeing things?
Oh, like when they were walking around the town.
Yeah, that's literally Nagisa's character design right there.
It's okay. So as someone who has studied the minute differences in anime girl hair design in order to differentiate them, because when it's school uniform, that's all it takes.
So she was right here.
It is
I'm telling you,
slightly different hair than Nagisa.
Maybe she doesn't have the two spindles above, but it's cut off at top so we can't see.
It's a tiny bit longer in the back.
No, it's just we don't see Nagisa from the back almost ever. I'm telling you, man.
It could be like, it's possible, but I think the hair is a slight bit longer in the back. Yeah,
okay.
it goes farther past the shoulders.
So is this just a
like I'm talking like an inch or two longer?
Well, right. But I feel like KyoAni doesn't do laziness. KyoAni is like, and anyways, this is not like a random 3D character here. This is actual little bits of animation here. They even animated the arms and the swinging and stuff like that. So it's like, why put that here for no reason?
I mean, it isn't Nagisa, but
obviously it's not necessarily Nagisa, but why would they show a character in their, actually that's a good point. Green versus blue, is that a boys girls thing? No, it's a different school.
So different school, different uniform.
It's practically the same uniform. It's just that they're a different year, maybe.
Possibly. Yeah, it could be a different year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I seem to recall that that's a thing. You have different colors of like badges to connotate the different years at school. But
I just want to bring up a crazy whack theory because this is how my brain works. Whenever we get randomly introduced to a character that has a like, oh no, I've been discovered.
Right, the dude that was in the second library or whatever,
hiding, you know. And then he says this here that was a very like, this line doesn't make sense really. He says, oh crap, I wasn't supposed to come out.
Of hiding, probably. In that, like, because he was under the table and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and it's the...
But like, supposed to?
Well, because he was hiding in there.
No, like, but like, oh no, I've been seen? Like this is...
You know, so I feel like this is one of those things where it's like, okay, is this, like, seeding an arc that's going to happen?
Yeah.
Or is it just...
Yeah, it 100%
weird
is.
shit happens at
you don't,
school in Clannad.
Again,
you know?
way this show has been structured, if we take this as a direct sequel with a similar formula to Clannad, even though it's already kind of different, even though it hasn't been in long enough to establish a formula.
It's like setting up her arc or something like that, or his arc.
Or just other characters in general. And then it's like, what is going on? Oh, wait, hold on. No, hers is red.
Right, and that one was green. So yeah, it's probably the different years.
So it's probably the different years.
Right, because they're blue, which...
He's not wearing a uniform, which is also probably the reason why he's supposed to be hiding, is that, you know, he's not actually a student here. Like, he's not wearing a uniform, so, like...
Well...
That's probably trespassing at the very least.
I mean, I think... I could be wrong. I think it might just be he's wearing the uniform, but like he doesn't have the tie and things like that. It's
he doesn't have a
unbuttoned,
badge either.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Who knows? I genuinely don't remember. So.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe he is wearing the uniform and he's just not got the thing on the chest either.
Yeah, like. I don't know. I legit don't know, dude.
Okay.
But yeah.
Sus. Anyhow, Sanai was adorably cute, hilarious, and fun. And Sunohara, I hope that you end up reconciling things with your sister to the point where she feels comfortable leaving you here. But
and maybe that you don't need to lie to her and trick her in order to make her feel comfortable.
Thank you. Yes, exactly.
Yep.
I did notice also the little thing with Rio, where she kind of looked back with that little bit of pity, a little bit, you know?
Right.
But that's also the same thing of where it's like, you know, if you look at characters that don't speak a lot,
any emotion
that they do is
right.
important. It's characterization because they'd use other things than talking.
Instead of the verbal language, it's body language. Yeah.
Right. So her kind of doing the, I'll
run after Kyo, but I
stay with my sister because I follow her lead on things. But yeah, she had one look here, and then she walks away, and then second look here, and it's kind of like a
and there was a smile,
almost, and she smiled.
Yep. Like maybe it could be something where, if you think about it, with Sunohara's personality, a lot of the facades and acts and antics that he puts up almost feels like it's as a result of him being like nervous and things like that, right? Maybe scared of being vulnerable. I don't know. Might be reading into it too much. But perhaps with someone like Rio that is so subdued in like her personality and everything, then there wouldn't be much point in Sunohara doing those things.
Sure.
Right? Because he wouldn't be as nervous being around her as someone like, say, Tomoyo or Kyo, right? With them, he's all nervous and then he does this stuff and it ends up ruining it. But maybe with her, he was able to just run right up to her, right? And ask, you know? So maybe he'd actually be able to be a semi-regular human being around her, and then maybe a relationship could come from that. Who knows?
Yeah, I genuinely think that they're setting up that if they go and start pairing everybody off, Ryo and Sunohara have a decent chance, actually.
Maybe.
Like a semi-decent chance.
Yeah.
And his rambunctious, chaotic energy will be mellowed out by her kind of, like,
right.
Okay,
And then you have Kyo in the background that's just like, I will fucking end you if you do anything that makes my sister cry.
Yeah. I still 100% think that that's what they're setting up here, is that of all the ones here that actually had a chance, that one she genuinely looked back twice.
Yeah.
Fondly.
And also, while she did say, it's impossible, I can't do that, it was kind of interrupted by Kyo.
It was not only interrupted by Kyo, I want to point out that she blushed before she cried. Which means that maybe it's actually that this ask is embarrassing, not the act itself. It's the idea of, okay. I know all this pressure, embarrassing, And that's what makes her cry and stuff, is the pressure, not actually the thinking of the act itself.
Well, and here's another way to potentially think about it. If she spent so long watching Okazaki, she would have a very good
handle on Sunohara.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah.
That is a thing.
Yep.
Yeah. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. You can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if anything that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.